You're listening to the Lanterns Radio Network. We are the network dedicated to empowering the individual, illuminating the truth, defending American exceptionalism, and inspiring future generations. Stay connected and get involved at Lanterns.buzz for great radio. Get commentary and news of the day. Lanterns.buzz.
Common sense, comedy, and freedom. You found the defenders of American exceptionalism on the Lanterns Radio Network.
Hello, everybody. Happy 2018. Woo!
It is 2018.
It is a new year. Happy New Year to all of y'all.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Defenders of American Exceptionalism on the Lanterns Radio Network.
You sounded really sad when you said that.
No, I'm doing three different things.
Stop it. I told you not to get distracted by
I'm
that.
not getting distracted.
Oh my gosh.
I just thought of something else I needed to... I dropped the ball on prep. I'm looking at something right now I needed to check on.
The ball on prep.
I didn't. Well, it's...
You can find us on Facebook Live at Defenders of American Exceptionalism. You can also find us on Twitter at DOAE Show, where if you use the hashtag _NowIKnow,
then we know
that you know what you know and that you're listening.
Yes. And that's what's important, because otherwise
it's really awkward.
It does.
You can also find us at patreon.com/DOE Show. Become a patron of ours, as well as Lanterns.buzz or patreon.com/LanternsBuzz. Become a patron of both those and go
things.
Those fine, wonderful things. Go visit our site, Lanterns.buzz. You can go to our DOE Show page there. As well as find many, 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 many wonderful broadcasters and news stories.
Indeed. Did you have a good New Year?
Yeah, actually I did. We sat around and watched movies. It was great.
I got, okay, so I'm little inside baseball in the Lyle's house. So for Christmas, my wonderful wife got me the Super Nintendo.
The emulator thing?
Yeah.
Where it looks like a Super Nintendo, but it's actually got the entire piece inside where it's just...
It's like all computerized. Yeah, so you don't need this cartridges.
Yeah.
So I got that. Love her to death. Like, she
knows you.
She does know me. So I got that. So needless to say, the entire week of... Or I say week. The entire stretch of the holiday season was sitting around by the fire... trying to beat Super Mario.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, and
you know what? Actually, I can't say anything bad about that.
No,
honestly,
I can only because of the fact that I used to dominate at this game,
and now you suck.
Oh my God, I've had it since Christmas, so we're talking what, 2 weeks? Over 2 weeks, 3 weeks now.
Yeah.
And we're only on level 12.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. And I got somebody get so much stuff coming from people coming in now. They're going to all... Oh, I know. It's going to be so...
Oh, it's going to be good.
Bad. So bad.
Other reasons why Dylan ain't woke. Oh.
Shut up. Really? Really? Why, man? Why? No, but other than that, it was good. It was nice to have it going.
Nice to have it going and getting away, that whole deal.
I was talking to somebody today, though, as much as... I mean, I had... The way it worked out, and as most people did, you got a 3-day weekend.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
For
Christmas and for New Year's, and I really thought that I was going to be more rested.
No.
Than what I was,
no.
And oh my God,
come on!
I actually felt glad by the end to be going back to work. It was a little weird. It's a little weird. So.
Oh, goodness.
What are we giggling at?
Oh, I was giggling at...
the Twitters?
The Twitters are one of our favorites, Oregon Redskin.
AJ Davis.
AJ Davis. Gotta love that guy.
Bless his heart.
Yeah, before we started the show, he decided that he was going to, talk about us. Try and trash
try
talk
to
us.
start something.
Start something. Don't start nothing. Won't be nothing. Anyway.
He hate us, couldn't he hate us?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But he was trying to start something about the holidays because we used holidays in our messaging for this show, and that's because we were here. We did the Christmas show.
I was working.
We did the Christmas show.
2 hours, as I recall.
Yeah, a 2-hour show. We did the Christmas show, a live thing instead of some best of.
Yeah,
phoning it in.
I didn't even phone it in.
New Year's is a holiday too.
Yeah. So, boom, in your face.
Done.
So anyway, folks, we got an awesome show planned for y'all. Going forward, we good at again. I'm hitting buttons, and I now have a computer in front of me now, so I'm
like,
apologize if I seem like I'm distracted. I now can feel like I'm a part of something now. So
he can now be involved, and it's really distracting for him, which is why he was never involved in the first place.
I know it's before I just kind of sat here and let Steven do all the work, and now I can at least read and pretend like I'm doing something. So
it makes him feel very,
I can more properly monitor Twitter and
things,
and
stuff
and other things. No, so we got a lot to dive into tonight. First thing we're going to start off with is Japan. The progressives like to hail Japan as a kind of a utopia.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to the Second Amendment is usually the biggest part that they'll throw around.
The whole gun control thing.
Yes,
because in Japan you can't have guns.
Nobody's got guns.
But of course you can carry a sword around.
Weird, right? Actually, no. There's believe it or not, there's certain places you can't.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
They're strict.
I was told, and forgive me for not having looked this up before, but this I believe had something to do with the whole. No, I'm thinking two different things. I was getting ready to say it was part of the treaty during World War II, but that was something.
That's something way
something
different.
Completely different.
No. That's about them not having a standing military or being able to say. That's that deal.
That's it.
I know where you were going.
Yeah. But yeah, no, the progressives love to use it as a
bastion of hope.
Yeah, as the poster child for utopia and what they kind of want America to emulate. Because look, see, it works, right?
Right. Well,
except it doesn't.
Right, and a YouTube star apparently brought a lot of attention to it, but also made himself look really bad when he went to the suicide forest.
Yes, and what we gonna go by the suicide forest is the Kogagara, or also known as the Sea of Trees forest that is in Japan, not far from Mount Fuji. For some reason, and people still are not clear as to why this particular forest is been picked. But the Japanese tend, literally, as the surname
story
is given, it is the suicide forest. People literally, deliberately go here to commit suicide.
Yeah. And they don't have an exact count, but they could say with a good sense of security that in the past 10 years they've had 100 people go into this forest to die.
Yes. Well, because it's literally, that's about 12 square miles, give or take, and that's a lot. And it's there's a couple paths, but for the most part, it's just land.
Right. And
so it's not exactly something that people can patrol and check. So like you said, they know of a certain number, but it's highly possible it could be way more than that.
Yeah. And so the big thing we wanted to get out of it, I don't care about the YouTube guy.
Yeah, I don't care either. He's irrelevant.
Irrelevant to the story, irrelevant to the facts, irrelevant to anything other than the fact that he brought attention to Japan's suicide problem.
Yes. It is
crazy high.
Yeah.
Up until 2017, it was literally the highest suicide rate in any country, and it was like 30 or 40 times the amount of anybody else.
Yeah, by far. And I used to live there when I was in the Navy. I was stationed in Japan. I was in I lived in Atsugi, Japan, as a matter of fact, which was about if I remember correctly, it was about a 45-minute train ride from Tokyo. I loved it, man. It was the greatest place to me. I say the greatest place on earth. That's a lie. America's always the greatest place on earth, but Japan was literally a world all of its own.
It really is.
It was amazing. I loved it.
Yeah.
But they are you want to see what it's like to be virtually completely controlled in every way, you
Go to
look at Japan. You almost.
I mean, China's worse.
Well, yeah, by far.
China's worse, but it's easier to go to Japan.
Yes, exactly. They can't. The Japanese have just kind of accepted everything and just kind of go along with it.
Right.
But no, it's amazing just to watch how, because you. And granted, there's a part of it where it's a good thing to be driven, to be dedicated. You know, fathers out there, you know, parents out there, here's the line. This is the line that is accepted for their children. If you don't meet it or, you know, pass it, then you bring dishonor on the family.
Yeah,
that's something that nobody in the rest of the world deals with.
Yes, we do, but we don't deal with it in their way.
No, but what I mean by it, like nowadays America doesn't. There's no line. It's about, little Timmy wants to express himself. There's no, here's the line and you will maintain it.
I am trying to do that with my kids.
No, and we all are. But I'm saying, there's the vast majority of Americans don't do that anymore. Now it's, like I said, little Timmy's trying to express himself. He wants to wear a dress, so he may want to be a girl now.
Which, by the way, I'll be having my first boy in May.
We could have. Way to segue into that. Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Tangent back into.
So, yeah.
But anyway.
That's one of those things. I'm going to have a boy. Oh, crap.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. All right. So.
Lucky you.
Yeah, I know. Well, that actually goes into another point. So they have a couple of issues. One is the major suicide rate. Two is the fact that their populace is aging to the extreme. They have the lowest, other than China, they have the lowest
reproduction rate.
Reproduction rates over that, pretty much anywhere. And then so you have all these generations growing up, and nobody's replacing them in the workforce. Or you have the farmers that are like they have these villages, and these farmers are just, you know, the 70-year-olds are taking care of the 80-year-olds because there's nobody else.
Yeah, going back to the suicide rate though, real fast. In 2014, the average was about 70 Japanese people committed suicide every day. In 2014, that's a lot. My math isn't that great, but that's a boatload. That's a boatload, y'all.
It is.
And but again, this is what happens when, you know, you have a society that just kind of you don't think for yourself. You don't have free will. You don't have freedoms from get-go. In every level, in every facet of your life, you have control. You're dominated by something, and someone, and whether it's something, and there's nothing wrong with the whole. I love, like, as far as the family structure goes for the Japanese. I love it. I think it is the greatest. Now, obviously, the whole like thing it used to be back in the day with you know Harry Carey and all that jazz might be kind of, blah. But the here is that line. This is the line that our family maintains, and you will maintain it. That's a beautiful thing. I love it.
Right.
Everything else, and the food is great. Everything else about Japan just kind of goes after that.
I really do like the food there. Because you have all right. You have the suicide rate, and the suicide rate is crazy.
Yes.
Then you have the age and the aging populace and workforce, and that's really, really bad. And then you have the fact that the current generation is both sex crazed, also does not want to have sex.
Yep.
They're sex crazed, but they're only wanting to do things to themselves.
Yes, it's
really weird.
There was a I don't even know if I should tell this story now that I'm thinking about it.
Uh-oh.
Well,
Rut-row raggy.
Well, it's not a bad thing. When I was I'm keeping it clean. So being in the military, that there's what you do on the weekend is what every 19-year-old kid does in the military.
On the weekends,
you go get hammered. There was a particular place that I would go and consume alcohol at. And one day I was sitting out on the balcony, and I happened to look down, and I realized that there was a adult store across the way.
Okay.
Never been in one before, and I'd never been in one in Japan, so I thought, let's mosey on over there and take a look.
It's just a really bad idea.
It was.
It's a really bad idea.
It was, because again, I'm 19 years old. I've been homeschooled my entire life. Very impressionable.
Yes.
I walked right through the door.
You're still very impressionable.
I am, virgin ears. Walked through the door, and I'm looking around, and I picked up just the video. Just I don't know why, but I picked it up.
Mm-hmm. You couldn't read any of it.
No, but it had a picture.
Oh, gosh.
Of a goat.
No.
Yes.
I'm done.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done too. I'm leaving it there. Y'all can use your own imagination.
Done.
I literally did the same thing. I turned around and put it back, and I walked right out that damn door. I went back upstairs and started drinking some more because clearly I hadn't drank enough yet. But yeah, that was my little glimpse into that little soiree of stuff. But but no, going back to it, it's amazing what they do. And now the whole sex robot thing.
Mm-hmm.
It is a craze that unlike anything I've ever seen before.
Oh yeah, and they're going into the whole 3D, bodysuit and
with the virtual realities and stuff.
Junk.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It's amazing.
These are all really cool things until you start using them for stuff like that.
Yeah,
and then it becomes
and not for nothing, America's headed that way too.
Yeah, of course.
When you throw in the whole there's no gender, when you throw in the whole we don't have a line that we maintain, when you don't have a structure at all and you just kind of let everything kind of go
and go out the window,
then it literally will go out the window.
Exactly.
And then what happens?
Yeah, it goes crazy. So biggest reason why we brought this up is because if you look at Japan now, as it sets, that is America.
In
not even 20 years down the road.
I was going to say 20 years maybe.
Not even 20 years down the road. Now, obviously, they are a much smaller place. They have a much smaller population.
And they're an island. They're bored.
And they're an island. But the population-wise and how it's going and with everything that they have going on, it's headed our way.
Yeah, and it'll be here before you know it. And I'm not looking forward to being that way.
About that.
No, me either. Folks, we're going to take a break. On the other side, we're going to talk about the employment rate and how good it's doing. You're listening to Defenders of American Exceptionalism on the Lanterns Radio Network. Be right back. Tell me shush. I can do whatever I want to. It's my show, damn it. You're listening to Defenders of American Exceptionalism on the Lanterns Radio Network. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, man.
If you catch us on Twitter,
DOAE show.
Hashtag now I know.
Just like Lance.
My man Lance.
I love that guy.
When I grow up, I want to be like Lance.
That's good times. Or you can follow us on Facebook, where we are live right now at Defenders of American Exceptionalism. You can join in on the conversation there as well.
Yes. We talked about everybody. We're also on Lanterns.buzz Facebook page, live on YouTube, Periscope.
Oh, that's right. We are live on Periscope.
We are.
And YouTube. That's good times.
We are.
I always forget about that.
I know.
And if you can't watch us or listen to us right now, you can always catch our shows later on.
Yes.
iHeartRadio, iTunes,
SoundCloud,
Spreaker, Stitcher, pretty much anywhere.
Yeah, pretty much anywhere you can get.
Anywhere you can get a podcast.
Anywhere you can get a podcast, you will find us. And you'll find everybody else as well. All the other hosts that we have listed.
No, we're not going to go through them.
No, we're not.
Because we'll miss somebody and somebody will get upset.
Well, no, we're not. I got them all down. I had to reach out to almost all of them
over Christmas to get
well, especially and today too. So I could do it. I just choose not to.
You could do it
because I'm the boss and I can do what I want.
You can do it.
Anyway,
Love that guy.
good times.
Uh-huh.
Good times.
Great
Well,
oldies.
I was actually highly surprised about this next story, mainly because of the source.
I was about to say, why were you surprised?
Mainly because of the source.
Okay.
I don't know why I would assume that I don't know. It's just every other notification I've ever got from CNBC has always been, hey, what
Bad
kind of
stuff.
underwear is best to be used on a summer day? That kind of thing. If you're digging a ditch, what kind of shirt and apparel should you be wearing? Don't forget the gloves, that kind of thing.
Wow.
And this
Wow.
one, yeah, I know, but I'm serious. Like I get the trust me, especially on Sundays. On Sunday,
There's nothing. It's bad.
I have almost 20 different news sources on my phone. All of them give me alerts, and there's nothing more irritating to be sitting in church. Listening to the sermon, and my phone is just going off, and I know they're alerts. To this point, I now know what it is. The alerts are going off, but it's never anything actually important.
So what you're saying is you should turn your phone on silent.
Well, no, it is on silent. Nobody can hear it, but I still get the notifications. So
you feel it ping.
well, I feel it in my watch, and I look at and I'm like, dag. On it, delete. It's just, and it literally is always something stupid. I didn't know that. It'll be something from like USA Today that'll say, mustard flavored cotton candy? Question mark? Question mark? Question mark? It's
Like,
never.
no.
Yeah.
No.
Exactly.
No.
It's never anything relevant. It's never anything good. It's kind of just crap.
Right.
And so but so I was surprised by this one from CNBC.
Ew.
The headline is, and this is something we can all be thankful for, whether you are a Trump supporter or not.
I really don't care.
I don't
way.
care either. We
This
never
is just good stuff.
cared.
This is good news.
If you can't admit that this is good and appreciate it for what it is, this is not the show for you.
Right.
Okay?
I mean, you can politicize it and say it's good news because of.
No, we're not politicizing it.
But we're just saying this is good news.
This is good as a
This
whole.
is just good news.
The headline reads, Black unemployment rate falls to a record low.
Sweet. Slow clap, people. Slow clap.
Okay. The Bureau of Labor Statistics reports that a 6.8% unemployment rate for the black workers as of December, which is the lowest in 45 years. That's amazing.
Really good.
I mean,
and add to that, unemployment rate is overall 4.1%. Now, obviously, there's a little bit of manipulation in the numbers. There always has been.
there's always has been, and that'll never go away.
But this is the same manipulations that were in the numbers from Obama administration. So to have them using the same manipulations and everything else, and this still being better is awesome.
I was gonna say they're at least manipulating the same way they've always manipulated. So
Right.
if you at least know where and how they manipulate, then you can kind of do your guesstimation math and get to where the real numbers should lie.
Exactly.
And nothing has changed. But that's still, unemployment among blacks are the lowest it's been since the early 70s.
Exactly.
Since they've been tracking it. Like I said, the black unemployment rate was 6.8% in December, which is the lowest the Bureau of Statistics has tracked since 1972, a year that ranged from 11.2% to 9.4%.
Right.
That's insane.
I mean, that's still not terrible.
No.
But I mean, if you're judging it by a populace, you're judging by a people group. Yeah, you shouldn't do that in the first place. But then again, I mean, I guess if we're going by people groups, that's great.
Yeah, I mean,
That is great news.
And again, there's a lot of little variables behind it. There's it's a certain block of a group of people. And I always I get really irritated when we decide we want to split up because apparently. And I'm about to say this, and I may have to clean myself up after this. But I get like, and since I was young, like it's always driven me nuts. I don't see why it has to be, we have to categorize it down to, the black unemployment, the white unemployment. That drives me nuts. I don't personally understand why it has to be that way. I got it that it is.
That's your white privilege showing.
Whatever. I don't care. It's 2018, and I don't give a flying rat's tuckus.
Dude, I gotcha.
Nothing's changed. Still me. Yay. But no, I've never understood that. But if we're going to go down that route, if we have to go the whole, well, we're going to have here's the white unemployment, and here's the black unemployment, and here's the Latino one, then fine, whatever.
Okay, fine, let's do it.
Split hairs and be a bigger douche. Find ways to
Sure.
split us up. I don't care.
Why not?
But if we're going to play that game, then everybody should be able to recognize that the fact of the matter is that for the longest time, I It be intentional or not, I don't know. But there have been powers that be that have tried to keep the black family and the black race as a whole down in virtually every way.
Down, separated, not a family group, depressed overall. Yes, that is all true.
Yep.
It has all happened. Yes, I understand to anybody out there, that little segment of what we just said probably sounds like some leftist propaganda. It's not.
No.
It's honesty. Yes, this has happened. It is documented. Look at Chicago.
Well, look at Chicago. Margaret Sanger, the whole reason for Planned Parenthood was because she wanted to get rid of the blacks and the...
Right. She wanted to get rid of undesirables and mainly the Negro.
Yes. And this is all quoted.
That was quoting.
Up.
That was
and
quoting.
that's the point, is for the longest time they have been being destroyed on one level or another. Back during slavery days, they were the strongest family unit in existence. In existence.
Yeah, exactly.
And
they
now,
were stronger than white families.
Yes. And
like the unit was so tight. It was
even when they were separated. Even when they were pulled apart and the father went here and the mother went here and the kids went here.
It was still perfectly.
They were still
perfectly tight.
Yes. And it is now completely gone and destroyed.
Right.
And to see that kind of positivity right now is I don't care who you are, if you should be happy about this. Everybody should be excited and jumping up and down.
It's a good thing.
Yes.
It's a good thing overall.
Because people are being brought up.
Exactly. And if
there's no handouts,
if the quote least among us are being brought up, that means we're all going to rise.
Yes. That's how it should be.
Exactly. So if you're gonna, everybody's like, trickle down, blah 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 blah.
Every time I hear trickle down, it makes me feel.
It's not actually trickle down. It's
I know.
It's supply side economics, and that's why the whole thing is crazy. But with this specifically, this is where you get into the rising tide raises all ships.
Yeah, exactly. Well, not just that. Let's take it even a step further back. Forget the brainiac side of things, which I don't fully grasp all of it. I'm not that smart. Sorry.
It's not there.
But let's look at the fact that this puts and it's not exact. I got that. But everybody is equal. Yeah. This puts people back to being people. This puts
this makes everybody more equal.
Yes. Which is the way everyone has been complaining for the longest time. It should be.
Yeah. So
and now it finally is. And for anybody to sit and argue about it now is you should just be slapped.
So here's the partisan angle. We got Obama out of office, and suddenly everybody's more equal.
Yeah, weird how that works out.
Isn't that crazy?
I wouldn't say that he did it on purpose, but I'm beginning to think
he did it on purpose.
Possibly.
Maybe so.
I'm for like I said, I'm happy about it. I don't subscribe to the whole. How am I going to word this? I don't do labels. I get it if you're trying to describe it, but if it's an obvious, you know what I mean?
Trying to describe it to somebody else that isn't looking at it.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what you need a label for, not to put yourself into a tribal mindset.
Right. It's not to put everybody into a group. It's just as a descriptor to verify that everybody understands what and who you're talking about.
When this whole thing went to the level of where it went from being descriptive to putting into a group, I have no idea when this happened.
I don't know either.
I feel like I just woke up one day and everyone's like, "Oh no, you're just trying to put me into a slot." And then my experience on things, just FYI on that little thing, if somebody says something to you and you get offended, odds are either there's truth to it and you know it's truth to it, and you choose not to fix it. That's usually why you get offended.
Or it's your fault.
But that's what I mean. So if I sit here or let's do it this way. If you sit here and call me fat,
okay,
which I am.
You're fat.
Thank you. But if I get offended by it,
it's your fault.
That means I know that it's
true,
right? And I choose not to fix it, but you shouldn't be telling me about it and pointing it out.
So I shouldn't tell you your faults or telling you things that you don't want to hear.
Well, obviously, there would also be a way of handling it. You shouldn't just come out and say, "Hey, dude, you're fat." You should say, "Hey, how about don't eat that?" Or something like that. Hey, but that's my point.
Hey, bro, that's probably not good for your health.
When was the last time you tested your blood sugar? But that's the kind of stuff that goes down. It how it's handled is a big part of it as well.
Right.
But like I say, going back to the key of it all is if you tell me that I'm fat and I know that I'm fat and I get mad at you for that, that's because I know I'm fat and I'm choosing not to fix it. And I haven't either accepted it and go, yep, I'm just fat, I'm not going to do anything about it, and gotten over it, or I'm not going, yep, you're right, I'm fat and I need to work on it and start working on it.
Right. So it's either you're upset because you know it, or you're upset because you don't want to fix it.
Yes, exactly.
But either way, it's you're upset.
Exactly.
It's you. So I've always understood it this way. You cannot give an offense. You can only take it.
That's deep.
You can only take
That's
offense.
deep. I usually joke at that, but I like that. I think I've heard that before, but that's deep.
It makes sense to me because it doesn't matter what anybody else says to you. You have to take offense to it for it to actually hurt you.
Mm-hmm. Funny how that works.
Yeah.
And yet everybody blames everybody else like it's some preemptive thing. Yes.
You're the mean person that said this thing to me that's causing me mental damage.
Hate speech. Hate speech.
Actually, right? I just said the light's green. That's all I said.
All I said was green means go.
Green means
and you're
go.
sitting here arguing with me. It's not that difficult, people.
It's not red. Go. Please move. Please move on.
I don't want to look at the back of your Honda. Get a move on. No. That's you're going to make me slip into a spot that I don't want to be in right now.
Oh, man.
But no, I'm serious. People have to start, and I watched this thing and this is, I know, so sidebar off of the original topic, but if you, and you might not have, I don't know why this is popping up or where it's coming up, but have you heard of a thing on Facebook? It's a short little clips called, it's from MTV, called Encoded?
No.
Or Decoded?
No.
Oh, don't.
Okay.
So
basically you just promote something to not do.
Yeah. It's one of those, if you happen to be scrolling through it, because what it is this, and again, this is all descriptive. I'm not putting anybody into a group because they already are in the group. But it's this young black lady who it basically goes down a list of all these different things, and and supposedly there was this stretch about she went on one of them I saw flipping. I don't know why I got suckered into it, but it was about victim shaming, and it was explaining victim shaming. Where did it come from? The psychological side of it,
but
and how
why?
And that's what it is. Instead of, it was this weird thing of it trying to further the idea that it's not your responsibility.
Okay.
It's not your problem. You aren't the one doing something wrong. You don't have any say in it at all. It's always the other person's fault. It's someone else's fault.
Right.
And the example she used was she was talking about some girl getting roofied and raped. And she's like, well, if you word it this way, if you say that, Jill went to this bar and she was talking to Dan, and then she drank a drink that Dan bought her and it had roofie in it, and he turned around and did this to her. And the way is just like...
That's very convoluted.
Yeah, well, the way the original thing was structured, I guess it was all focused on... She's like, but if you word it this way, Dan went to a bar and gave Sarah a drink, and Dan put a roofie into it, and then Dan did this... Then they're like, well, when you word it that way, he turns around and you put the focus back on the
person who did it.
The person who did it, which to a point you're correct. But then it made me think, well, then that's just proof that it's all in how you deliver it.
Yeah, it's all in the wording.
It's all in the wording, and if you're not there, you don't know what's going on. You don't know what happened. Should Dan have roofied her and raped her? No. Did she deserve that? No. But, and then one of the examples she used is like, well, some of the victim shaming side of it is, well, they say, well, she shouldn't have gotten drunk, or she shouldn't have taken a drink from somebody, or she should have been there in the first place.
That's where the butt is.
Well, but you know what? All of those things are true. Had she not been there, it wouldn't have happened. Had she not taken a drink from a guy, a stranger she didn't know, she might not have get roofied. Now, does that put all the blame on her?
No, not at all.
No.
Not at all.
And that's the part that kills me, is people have to accept that you did make a choice, good, bad, otherwise, whether you had full control or not.
Mm-hmm.
But we want to always blame someone else or something else.
Yeah.
And it drives me nuts. It really does drive me insane. I'm done. You can hit the button. Hit the button. We went way out in left field on that one.
Yep.
We're going to go take a break.
We'll be right back.
You're listening to Defenders of American Exceptionalism on the Lanterns Radio Network. Don't go nowhere.
You're listening to the Lanterns Radio Network. We are the network dedicated to empowering the individual, illuminating the truth, defending American exceptionalism, and inspiring future generations. Stay connected and get involved at Lanterns.buzz for great radio. Get commentary and news of the day. Lanterns.buzz.
Welcome back, everybody.
Wow, that sounded so...
That was...
Ow.
Well, no, I forgot there's a delay when you hit the button back again. I was like, wait a minute, what the... What's going on?
Oh.
You're listening to Defenders of American Exceptionalism on the Lanterns Radio Network. Happy 2018, everybody.
Happy 2018.
I've missed being behind the show. Oh, crud! You know what we forgot,
What did we forget?
dude? And you're gonna. When I tell you, even you're gonna go, oh, crud. Starting next. I know. I had to realize how I was gonna. I had it in my brain, it just went.
Oh, you just mean we didn't announce it in the very, very beginning of the show.
We haven't said nothing yet. As of this Wednesday,
Yes.
tune in Wednesday. Starting this Wednesday,
Same time.
the 10th,
Same
9
channel.
p.m. right here live on Facebook. SoundCloud, Spreaker, blah, 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 blah,
Yep.
iHeartRadio. We will be live. We will be starting our second show of the week, starting next Wednesday.
At 9
p.m.
Eastern.
Be here.
That's right.
Be here, be here, be here. We will still be doing our show on Saturday as well.
Yes.
But starting this Wednesday,
We'll be doing a second show.
Yes.
He lost it. I just figured we'd say it later.
Well, but yeah, we should have said it in the beginning, and then
Why? Because I mean, it at the end, everybody will actually remember
you know why?
it a little bit better.
The same reason why every time you hear a commercial on the radio or you see a commercial,
repeats everything,
They
like
repeat
20 times.
the phone number 3 times. Do you notice what that's actual like, thing?
It repeated 3 times. It'll actually be
And actually sinks in.
implanted into your head.
Yep, exactly. So
I hate those things.
I do too. Straight banana sandwich, dude. I'd rather slam my tongue in a car door.
You know who else would rather slam their tongue in a car door right now? Kim Jong-un.
Little Kimmy.
Little Kim.
Little Kim.
Mm-hmm.
He's just as dirty too.
That's right.
You. Where's the bell? Hold on.
You took it. I don't know. Oh, there it is. It's way back there. Like, what are you doing? There it is. My goodness. You know what? We're probably going to get banned.
Sorry.
For that.
We are. No, we
We're
are.
gonna get
No,
pinged for
I
that
forgot
now.
that over the holiday weekend I was in here doing work, and my baby boy was in here playing, and he was getting fussy.
He had to get
and
the bell.
He loves the bell.
Oh, that makes sense.
So I gave him the bell, and then in cleaning the office up, I realized I set
You
the
forgot
bell.
to leave it over here.
I did. I put the bell in the wrong spot.
Oh,
I'm a horrible person. I
that's
know.
good times, though.
I know. Don't judge me.
So
I can't help it. It was you know.
So North Korea bombed North Korea this week.
Wait, what?
North Korea bombed North Korea this week
Wait a minute. That's.
in an accidental launch of their artillery shells.
Aren't they supposed to be bombing someone else?
Yeah, it's a failed launch.
You know, look, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, and I may have mentioned this to other people before. I may not have. I don't know.
Maybe not.
I know I'd mentioned it to our good friend of the show, Jonathan Dunn, who I talked to him the other day. I worry
About?
that this is all a fake.
What do you mean, all a fake?
Well, let's be perfectly honest.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I understand that Lil' Kim has a lot to try and prove.
Yeah. I mean,
When you open your mouth that wide and you start trying to talk as much junk as you do, you kind of have to be able to back it up. So I got that there's that level of having to maintain. But I kind of wonder, when you were on literally the world stage like that and everyone can see you and you're rattling and making that much noise, would you really keep screwing up?
I mean, Kim's trying to, little Oon's trying to be ill.
No, and I like that.
That was good,
I like that. That was a good one. But what I'm saying is there's a part of me that almost feels like trying to be lulled into a false sense of security.
Yeah, like it's all literally just a stage for this guy.
Yes.
And all of the stupid crap that he's doing.
Think about it.
It's like Donald Trump and Twitter.
Almost. Well, no, because at least Donald Trump, I believe, has some semblance of actually caring for the country and trying to do a good job.
Right.
Little Kim
I'm saying the distraction.
No, and I got that. But what I was going to say was Little Kim is known. He kills his own people on a regular basis and doesn't bat an eye.
Yeah, like his uncle?
Yeah, and his brother. And
all those people.
All them people.
His entire family, basically.
Everyone in his country. So it really would not, and most, all, and maybe not, actually all, communist dictators like that kind of do that. They don't care about the people.
No, they just care about their regime, their power, and how it's actually going to be perceived in the world.
So looking at it through that prism, would it actually shock anybody to find out that Little Kim was actually fake bombing his own people to make it look like he was screwing up so the rest of the world could be called, oh, well, they're just not going to do nothing. They're not going to do nothing. And then the day he does it, we can't stop him, and he actually is better. Because they're saying that North Korea was the one that hacked all of us and hacked Sony and hacked all this crap in the first place.
That's what they're saying. Yeah, they're saying that it led back to North Korea. I really don't know if
I don't know, but let's play that's true.
I was thinking it was probably China.
I wouldn't put it past them either.
I mean,
I really wouldn't.
China, and they're on the border of North Korea. They could easily push it over. I mean, they're the ones that actually control the feed of the internet to North Korea. They control the feed of internet to North Korea, and then North Korea controls the feed to the rest of their people, which is basically nothing.
Anybody who thinks that China is out for anything but themselves
is wrong.
Sadly mistaken. You are sadly mistaken.
But so, you know what? I kind of think you might be onto something there. But then again, on the same page, I think it might. I would actually go a little bit of the opposite way, where he'd bomb his own people and then blame it on everybody else.
I can see them doing that too.
But it came across on everybody else's news as a problematic artillery shell.
Yeah, like an accidental
artillery shelling from his own stuff as they were practicing or something. No, I think he did that on purpose.
I wouldn't put it past him.
I mean,
I really wouldn't. I mean, the guy has as the dictator himself has no regard for human life whatsoever.
Right, and then you add into it the now open communications between North and South Korea. The now open communications, you know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying too. There's something about that, and maybe I've watched too much Hollywood. Maybe I'll be honest with you. Like I've learned over the years of watching, TV shows and things like that there's, based on the type of show, you kind of start looking for that other hand. What's the other hand doing?
Right.
And the fact that he's so open that he keeps screwing up and bombing himself, and then conveniently is wanting to make friends with South Korea just because they want to be in the Olympics all of a sudden.
Yeah, and then magically he also has all these nuclear warheads.
Yeah, and I'm sorry.
That work?
Yeah, there's a lot of things that's just not adding up, and I'm at this point, anybody who can just kind of sit back and go, oh no, and take whatever you see at face value, you're gonna be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah,
one way or another.
You can't take any of this at face value, especially when it comes to there. So you have Kimmy,
little Kim,
little Kimmy, but something else that we wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I've been wanting to chomp at the bit at this.
Do it. It's all you, man. It's all you. Go ahead.
Okay, so. Anybody who's aware of anything knows that. What?
Anybody who's aware of anything.
Anybody who's aware of anything. Okay. For those of you that aren't aware, usually at the first of the year is when most laws go into effect. Anything brand new usually gets pushed off to the first year, no matter when it's officially passed. They usually don't start it until either the 1st of January or usually probably around the middle of the year in like June.
Right.
Okay?
Yes.
So some new laws have kind of come to light.
And by the way, that's in one state in particular.
Mm-hmm. In these yes, it happens, and it is just most of these laws happen at the state level, local level, federal level. Right. It just happens to be either the first of the year or the middle of the year.
Yes, exactly.
One that has hit a beloved state
of one of our fellow co-hosts.
Yes. Mr. AJ Davis from the Common Sense Radio.
I'm very sorry for you.
Yeah, apparently one of the laws
One
that
of
it was
the 700 laws.
750.
750
if we're going to be exact,
laws,
let's
yeah.
play the
One
game.
of the 750 laws.
This is just for the state of
Oregon.
Oregon. That's not the country.
Yes.
That's just the state
Oregon.
of Oregon. Lucky you.
Yes, Brad. Green gas.
So apparently, and I don't know, and there are probably other states that are like this as well, but the two that I know of now officially are New Jersey and Oregon, were states that they had people specifically to pump your. Every gas station was a full service gas station.
Right. It was forced by law.
It was forced by law. It was to try and bring. It's another bit
It's
of
jobs.
Exactly. It's another way to manipulate the job numbers.
Also unions.
That too.
That was that in New Jersey. It was unions.
Well, yeah. Again, it was all about making the job numbers look good. The unions. It was, which I found out the hard way when I drove to New York 2 years ago. I told the little kid that came out to pump my gas, if he touched my car, I was going to hit him. I did. I was ill because I found out how horrible Jersey and the turnpike and all that crap was. I learned a lot that day, and I was not a happy camper. I had the kids in the car, the wife in the car. We'd been on the road for 8 hours. I looked at the kid. I said, "If you touch my car." Anyway, but apparently New Jersey and Oregon are both states that by law you had to have full service gas stations. You were not allowed. The owner of your vehicle could not pump your own gas. Okay?
Right.
One of the laws that passed not too long ago that went into effect as of the first of the year in Oregon. There are certain places now in the state of Oregon that you're allowed. I think it's a population
less than 40,000.
Yeah, less than 40. It's like either 40 or 45,000 people. You can now have gas stations where you get out and pump your own gas. And when I first heard this,
freedom, people. That's
I was
freedom.
like, yes, it's called you're standing on your own 2 feet. I mean, you're pumping gas.
I've
never been anywhere other than, like I said, when I went to New Jersey 2 years ago.
Right.
I've ever been in a place where you didn't pump your own gas.
Exactly.
Like, and I actually, to go to the extent of it, I can only think of in our local area. I can only think of one.
There's one in Raleigh that has both a self-service and a full
But that's
service.
what I was going to say. There is no gas station in the state of North Carolina that has singly a full service. And there's only one or two that I can think of within about a 50-mile radius of where we're at now that has even both. Like, there's only two I can think of. So to have just those everywhere, it was crazy to me. Apparently, Oregon is literally melting down. People have no idea how to pump their own gas. And when I first heard it back, that this law was going to go through, I was making jokes to myself. I'm thinking,
it's like, how can they
this
not?
is going to be beautiful. This is just, can you imagine the people screwing things up? No, apparently everything that I thought was a joke
is real.
Is coming true.
It's truth.
People are putting diesel into gasoline engines
and destroying their cars.
This
is the first time I've ever gotten gas. It was cheaper. It was the green gas.
It was green gas. There's all kinds of excuses. There was one I heard. This elderly lady in her 50s.
62.
62.
Yeah, that was one of the Facebook posts.
Oh my God. She was like, I've never pumped my gas in my life. I don't know what I'm going to do. If you've never pumped your own gas
ever,
that means you have not left your bubble
of Oregon.
Well, even of your little community.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but you need to get the F out and see the world.
Right.
You know?
You need to leave.
You do.
You need to leave where you're at.
Because here's my thing, and this is going to go into something that a slight tangent-ish, but it works in well. I was talking with a mutual friend of ours from church this evening.
Yes.
And when you combine this
I love that guy, by the way.
I do too. He's a great guy. We went, mixing it with the trip to, everybody's trying to figure out, why is America so different? Why is everybody so split? And I started to really think about it because we've put ourselves in these bubbles and we're not getting out of them. And this goes not just our community, but this goes to
the Facebook land and everything else.
Well, everything.
Media,
yes, we're in our own
clicks.
echo chamber. People in this lady, the 62-year-old lady in Oregon, has never left her own community, let alone left the state of Oregon to be able to figure out how to pump her own gas.
Right.
Now take that and put it to a level like, say, New York. I experienced something talking to people who lived and born and raised in New York City. Oh, well, there's a train for that. You could just take the train. There's always a bus. There's always all this stuff. And then you hear about everything shutting down, and I'm like, well, drive in. Well, we don't have a car because everything pays for it. That's just what people are used to doing. There's nobody how they do it, and then we wonder, well, why is it that New York and California's its own little entity, but let's keep New York. Why is New York always having all of these liberal progressives who want to have bigger government and bigger this and that? Why? Because that's
their bubble.
It's their bubble, and it works in their bubble, but they're taking their bubble and trying to bring it to my bubble, and you can't put two bubbles together.
They pop.
It doesn't work. And and that's the kicker. And instead of people getting out of their bubble, starting to learn about other people, other situations, and other ways of life, and then learning to see people as people, that's when you can start going, okay, and you work together, and you make things better, and life becomes better for everyone.
Exactly, except for if you're on Facebook, because then you're just going to burn somebody. Like this guy who decided to make this comment as a sarcastic diatribe. One time, my dad came to Oregon and pumped his own gas. The streets immediately lit on fire, and he caused a massive recession countrywide because he took away 20 billion jobs by pumping his own gas. I was in the back seat when my brother was nabbed through the locked door by a transient creeper.
Wow.
Who raised him to be his own human ottoman. My dad then tried wiping his windshield, but the stuff he used turned out to be sulfuric acid. The car exploded with me in it, and I died. You could be like this guy.
That's just kind of douchey. I mean,
who went through and literally went piece by piece through everybody's comments from Oregon that were making these crazy, outlandish comments about problematic things that would happen to them if they started pumping their own gas. He took every one of them and just made a giant storyline with it. You could be that guy, or you can meet somebody halfway.
Yeah, I mean, and look, and that was what, like, originally we were going to pick at this and laugh at this, and I'm still going to.
A little bit.
We still are a little bit.
We got like a minute left.
Yeah, but at the same time, you have to stop and think about it. That there's a deeper problem here,
right?
And instead of actually picking on the person for it, like the 62-year-old lady, instead of slapping her in the back of the head, going, "What the hell is wrong with you that you couldn't leave your little bubble and this, that, and the third?"
Yeah,
if you could start seeing her and her situation and understanding where she come from. So she didn't leave it. So that's what she knows.
Right.
Well, then how do you get to somebody who that's all they know?
Right. That's where you have. That's where you have people like AJ Davis, who is apparently going to do a step-by-step on his show.
Yes, and that will be on Monday.
That'll be on Monday. He'll do a step-by-step for all native Oregonians who have never pumped their own gas. How to pump gas.
Which is going to be weird because he lives in Oregon, so that means he doesn't pump his gas.
Well, he's not native.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
He's not native. Well,
he's
just
been there for long enough.
Apparently, in the comments section on our Facebook page, he told us that he went and pumped his own gas for the first time in X amount of years, and it was a horror show. So he's going to go through it.
I imagine. But anyway, that's I'm going to get a phone call later that he has no more vehicles because the sucker's on fire.
Oh, every vehicle is on fire. Everything is dead.
We have to. That's the thing we're going to start doing, and that's something Steven and I have talked about with the show going forward. Is we're still going to try and do laughs. We're still going to be funny. We're still going to pick apart the stupidity of the world while focusing on principle. But at the same time, we want to start trying to keep everybody focused more on solutions.
Right.
Don't be part of the problem.
Exactly. And in the upcoming weeks, we are going to have a couple interviews set up. One in particular that we know of is with loveleads.org.
Yes, it's a great organization. A friend of mine started about a year or so ago. We hope to have them in sometime, I'm hoping next week, but we will see from there. We're also in the works with talking with Riaz Patel.
Yes.
We're going to be bringing him in at some point next couple weeks to a month or so. Have lots of stuff getting ready to change. New year, big plans, lots of things on the horizon. It's going to be exciting. So, folks, we really appreciate you tuning in. Again, happy 2018. Thank you for sticking out with us. You're listening to Defenders of American Exceptionalism on the Lanterns Radio Network. We'll see you next Wednesday. 9 p.m. live.
Wednesday.
Here on Facebook, Twitter, everywhere else.
DOA show.
Patreon.com.
Mm-hmm. Gotta love it.
Gotta love it. Folks.
Hashtag now I know.
Folks, have a great rest of your weekend. We will see you Wednesday. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.